Welcome to Whiskey Mountains. I'm Adriana, and today we are out on the White Pine Lake Trail in Little Cottonwood Canyon, and we are doing the latest of the ECBPs, Elijah Craig Barrel Proofs B522. So if you're familiar with Elijah Craig barrel proofs, you probably already know that they come out with 3 a year. So this is the second one, hence B. This one is 121 proof, so a little bit lower than some of the really popular ones. But lower proof doesn't necessarily mean, that it's going to be worse. Now, I did already try this indoors last night, so I do kind of have an idea of what it tastes like and how I like it, but it's always kind of fun to see what the difference is outdoors. So I'm sitting around in snow, so it is a little bit cold, but it has stayed pretty warm. The glass isn't cold to the touch or anything, and neither is this snoot glass. Definitely getting the nose, definitely getting the effect of the outdoors, which often brings kind of the wood notes more forward, which is unsurprising as I sit under a birch tree. But I am still getting some of the nuttiness and cherry that I was getting. This one I would say is like very Heaven Hill profile. It's right down the middle. It's not trying to shoot out anywhere, especially on the nose. Let's go ahead and go in. So my thing with this one, I think the thing I normally like about ECBPs is that they kind of punch you in the mouth with flavor. This one actually kind of drinks at a lower proof. Honestly, it's coming out a little bit better to me out here. I'm getting a little bit more kind of cinnamon spice in it, which I wasn't really getting at home. At home, honestly, I was pretty disappointed in. Honestly, drinking this outdoors, I think is kind of improving it. So I tried this at home last night. I like to try it both indoors and outdoors because the outdoors really can have an effect, especially if it's cold. The cold can actually normally sort of numb the flavor. But again, the glass isn't cold. The whiskey doesn't feel cold. I'm actually getting more flavor than I was last night. Last night, it was kind of coming off watered down. I started out with my Knob Creek 100 proof, like always. And I even went back and forth between, and I felt like the Knob Creek, and this is just the normal 109 year, was bringing more flavor than this 121 proof ECBP. So there's just not a lot going on the palate. But out here, actually, I'm getting a little bit more cinnamon and oak. The oak notes are really kind of coming forward, and I'm liking that. Also, at home, the finish was pretty unimpressive. So it kind of ended pretty quickly. And it was just like a drying, more peppery finish. Like, this is super easy to just let sit. And as soon as I swallow, I'm able to talk. Like, it definitely isn't bold. It definitely doesn't punch you in the mouth with flavor. I find it kind of disappointing for an ECBP. I'm not saying I dislike it. I think it's still yummy. You've still got a 12-year-old non-chill filtered freaking barrel proof bourbon, but this is probably one of the most disappointing of the ECBPs that I've had so far. So I did try it last night compared to the A122. I never did do a video on that one because initially when I had it, I wasn't loving it. But actually, now that it's opened up, I liked it a lot more last night. So initially, I found the A122 that the proof was actually very forward and just kind of, I don't know, spiky. Like, it wasn't impressive to me. It didn't have much interesting flavor. But then last night, now that it's opened up for about a month, it was delicious. I loved it. I mean, it was really, really good. And it was just a really perfect oakiness. I like the oak notes. And actually, I don't think I've watched any other reviews on that one, the A122. But the oak notes on that were awesome. This one, really sad in comparison. I mean, it really came off like almost watered down, as if I had like poured it over the rocks. So it just doesn't have a great mouthfeel. It doesn't have a great finish. Normally I love ECBPs, but I'm pretty unimpressed with this one. It kind of sucks. So, but having said all that, I like it a lot more outdoors. Like, honestly, out here, I'm getting a little more sweetness, just a hint of cinnamon, and just and a little bit more oakiness kind of thing. So a little bit more of what I'm expecting from an Elijah Craig bourbon. Still not hitting particularly boldly. I don't know, I'm just so used to Elijah Craig barrel proofs kind of really hitting you with a lot of flavor. And the B522 is not doing that. So whereas the A122, I didn't like it that much at the beginning because it actually felt very ethanol forward, even though it's around the same proof. It has opened up beautifully, and now I would highly recommend that one, and I can see why a lot of people like it. This one is already drinking weekly. I don't know that airing it out is going to help it much, but maybe we can hope. I'm not saying I regret it. It's still yummy, and maybe I'll like it more as it goes down, but we'll see. Of course, the wind picks up as soon as I press record. What's up? Hopefully it's not too bad. So today we are out on White Pine Lake Trail in Little Cottonwood Canyon outside of Salt Lake. And I've never been on this trail before, but I love it and I can't wait to come back. It's a little bit warmer and there's a little less snow. It's funny because it was like 80 degrees down in the valley just a few days ago. But it is so nice. It's overall like a 10-mile hike. Don't think I'm going to do the whole thing today, but if I did, it would be like 2,000 feet in elevation gain, and I'd end up at a lake and then come back. So, but probably only do about 5 miles today. So, but man, I mean, ridiculously pretty. Of course, I brought the wrong shoes. I put out my snowshoes, my like boots, but forgot to put them on. So trail's been a little bit of a struggle today. So what do you think? Do you think you're going to get the B522, or maybe if you can still get your hands on the A122, just stick with that one? Maybe get a backup bottle or something. Let me know in the comments. Thanks so much for joining me on Whiskey Mountain. Salud. Also, I just want to give a quick shout out to my Patreon. Thank you all so much. Because of Patreon, I was able to buy this Osprey pack that I'm using, and I love it. I have so much stuff in it right now, but it's so comfortable. Fits everything, all the filming stuff, different lenses, some clothes, food, the works, and also it comes with like the water thing. And that has been a lifesaver. I freaking love this pack. So if you want to help me out with things like that, go join my Patreon. I really, really appreciate it. So back to these views. It's amazing. Oop. Now you can't see me at all. And I'm in the darkness. Fucking A. And today we are out on the White Pine Lake Trail. Blech. I'm Adriana. Okay, so if I do decide to do it indoors, I actually brought a little bit of the A122 to do a side-by-side out here, but honestly this is a really uncomfortable sitting position and I really just don't feel like it.